Good morning. FX with Terry.com, free Forex signals. And we have a lot more than that. So, already coughing. Extremely cold here in the desert this morning. I got the heat cranking. It's like 40 degrees at night, 90 degrees during the day. Not a complaint at all. I love it. Walking around in shorts in the winter. I'm from Michigan, so I love it. We'll get into the accounts. You can see the free signal account right now about ready to pop into profit. And I want to go over the updates, but I think I'm going to wait till the end of the show here. Just a lot of stuff I want to show you. Updates to the trading system, updates to my mindset, thought processes, and it's ever evolving based off of the way the market comes at us, right? And let's go over the trades and we'll get into that stuff. So the update stuff, I believe at the end, especially if you're a member at fxwithterry.com in the free Discord group, I think you'll really be, I'm really going to give you some insight and some stuff that, you know, I've been working on, and it'll be fun for you to see that. So this is the free signals account. This is live. Okay. We don't mark up charts and say where we should have entered. We enter, we trade, we profit. And in fact, I'm going to show you a data set report from the last 67 days of my automated trading system, which really runs my entire algorithm, runs everything we do here. If you're getting a free signal, my algorithm created that. If you're getting a premium signal, my algorithm created that. And if you look at all of the different automated feeds I have, which at this point is 4, it's all automated, all from actually 2 different algorithms that I have. So this is the trade signal that you would have received if you came into the group and you're skeptical like everyone is. No way can this guy be sending out profitable trades. What's your strategy, Terry? My strategy is enter the trade I send to you. That's the strategy. That's the strategy. Our strategy is we profit. So if I were to zoom in on this, let's look at a chart here on AUD-CHF. Let me see if I can zoom out. You can see that this, because AUD-CHF moves about 40 pips, 35 right now, I think, in terms of volatility. So we entered a sell up here. We entered another sell here. And we're kind of hovering in the middle here. We've got some wicks, probably because of some news stuff today or whatever the case may be. Who cares? But the TP, the take profit, is right here. So if we're at a positive $31 in profit right now, remember this is a signal. You could bid whatever you want. I'm sending the signal out at a 0.10 saying, hey, I've bid and I've added a trade, and my bid is still at my base bid. So if you're bidding 10 cents and you added trade number 2, bid 10 cents again, or bid whatever you want. But if you want to go along with my mathematics and, you know, update your take profit each time, because you'll notice 0.57741 on this second trade. If I click the first one, 0.57741, the take profit's the same. You could jump into this trade right now. We've got some distance to go, and it's already proven that it's generally profitable. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that the price can't and won't back out on us. But if it does, we'll scale into some trades. We'll drag that take profit closer to wherever the price goes, and we'll get out either way at profit. Now, I don't believe, actually, yeah, I don't believe if we go to the history here, there's no history for the day. Last week we had some negative U.S. news. It affected AUD-USD. It affected USD-JPY. Trying to think of another pair that it might have affected. I don't think there was another one that was too big of a deal. But boy, do we get stuck in that USD JPY. In fact, we're going to take a look at that. That is very common. It wasn't like, oh, the system's blowing up. That's what the market did to us. That's what they delivered to us. Now, I will proudly say, during everyone's panic, and why did anyone panic? Because they're overbidding and overtrading. Overtrading means out of the 22 currency pair, trades that I'm sending you, you're taking them all on a tiny little account and you're bidding way more than you should. So there's that balance on your end. Like, my system is great. It's the best I've ever seen, but it doesn't do anything for you if you don't also understand your account, your desires. You saw that $5,500 account I took from $3,000 to $5,500 in the last couple weeks, and then it all blew out on Friday because I was bidding too much, and frankly, that's what I intended to do, right? I was bidding way too much on that particular account. We'll go look at that stuff. But I will proudly say, as I predicted, not that I'm always right, but I have gut feelings and I have some experience, and you can learn from that. USD JPY took profit if you bid properly, if you traded properly, so on and so forth. If you panicked, like I sensed that someone did, but they did finally get out. If you panicked and turned the copier off because you were doing automated trading, that's like worst case scenario. But you shouldn't be doing that. And the only reason you had to do that is because guess what? You were overbidding. You just were. So like AUD CHF, you could jump in on this trade. Again, I'm a hack. I don't know what I'm talking about. But in terms of probabilities, this one looks highly probable. But we did close out of that USD JPY, and we'll take a look because I haven't even looked, but I made a prediction in terms of where I thought it was going to go after we were in the trade. You don't see me marking up charts on entry. The moment you see someone marking up charts with lines and support and resistance and indicators and all this bullshit before they've entered a trade, they're full of shit. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. So I will mark up the chart and try to predict where I think it's going to go after I'm in the trade. And I'm probably 50 to 70% right. That's not too bad. But nonetheless, my system is always right, and I'm going to prove that to you today. So stick around, because if you don't have trust in systems, and how many people do I talk to every day? I don't know. Someone said yesterday, private messaged me, I lost $2,000 on signal, on buying signals, and they all lost. Okay, I'm sorry that happened to you. Let's put it behind you, and let's make this happen. Because I will tell you that the recent updates I've done, whatever you want to say, grammatically correct. The recent updates I processed are really, really going to make this system smoother. And it's ever growing. It's ever changing, right? I'm constantly evolving. We're not just like, well, here we are. My system from 1986 is still working. So Doug says good morning. Derek says howdy. Just seeing that now. Appreciate you guys joining me. So this is pretty good. This is really great. Free signal. Let's run through the different accounts here. And let me take you to the pause. So we're going to go to premium signals next. One thing I didn't look at, let me look at it real quick before I switch. Yeah, I was just looking at, like, since we didn't have any closed free signals, I really slowed that down because of the craziness that was going on in the market. But we've got like $50 closed signals in the last week. That's just because this is we were looking at the free signals account, and I've slowed that down a little bit and made it more stable. We'll talk about that. All right, now we're going to move on to premium signals account. Here it is. In fact, I can share this with you. I will. So we're looking at premium signals account. There's no open trades right now. And I specifically did that because I was like, you know what? All of this craziness with the USD JPY, let me slow it down. And I did some programming changes this morning because we were waiting for this. And it happened this morning before the news announcement. USD JPY closed out as far as the signal trades, the trades that I sent out, it closed out at $604. and $37.63. Phenomenal. People shitting themselves over USD JPY. We'll count how many trades we're in. Listen, trust the system, trust the process. If you're bidding properly, it's not a big deal. I will tell you this, you'll hear me say this 100 more times probably today. I have tweaked the system enough to where this particular scenario will never happen again. Not that I was that worried about it, but everyone else was worried about it. And if you guys are going to habitually be degenerate gamblers and overbid, I'm going to try to prevent you from doing that. And that's basically where I'm moving to with this. But it's safety and it's slowing things down. So let's go back here. I was holding and waiting for every trade that closed, right? And people say, isn't that a loser right there? Minus $185? Well, in fact, my mathematical genius, it's not, because everything is based off of net profit. I lost absolutely nothing off of my principal balance. I'll say it again. Losing, and you can spin this however you want, right? Losing is when you lose off of your principal balance, your current winnings, and it goes down. And instead of profit, it says negative. There's a little negative before that 637, and there's not one there, right? So I really don't give a shit about any of this red here. I don't care at all. That's not a loss. I didn't lose anything. What I did was I gained. So that's the hard thing for people to wrap their mind around. The other thing is the stop loss. There's no stop loss. We didn't do any stop loss. I don't trade with stop losses. If you're bidding, listen, if you want to set a stop, you can take a loss. But if you're bidding so much that you have to set a stop loss, otherwise you ruin your account, fucking stop. Okay? That's dumb. That's dumb. So pretty proud of that, pretty excited on that. And I'll give you some updates. Again, no open trades right now on premium signals, but I specifically did that. So we'll probably start seeing, we'll see them start coming in today. We just haven't had any volume Sunday night, Monday, because they were waiting for this CPI news to come out this morning. Everybody, I said it yesterday and people don't really believe this. I believe this pretty wholeheartedly, that the banks and the hedge funds, the people that move these currency pairs with billions and trillions of dollars of orders, they all Thursday and Friday and moved the shit out of it, and they were all spent. And they were just waiting, and I'm going to show you what they were waiting for. They were waiting for this morning, and that's when the system took profit. So pretty cool stuff. And we will go look at this chart, trust me, because I want to show you something that if you can learn this little concept after you're in a trade, you'll be able to look at the chart. Because instead of panic mode, Terry, do you think this is going to come back? Why is this continuing to buy it when the price is trending down? Just hang in there, buddy. Hang in there, right? And if you hang in there, made a nice profit on those trades. It's probably too many. Like, I'll be honest. Let's go back and count. It's probably too many trades for someone to take in a manual signal. So I fixed that. Okay. That's just what the system does. But let's count how many trades there were. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Yeah, so 19. So here's the deal. I turned my system off at 19 trades. I'll guarantee you, based off of the price action that I saw, it went at least 25 total. So remember that number, remember that concept. We'll talk about it again at the end here, and I'll give you some stats and kind of some updates that I'm doing. So, and you know what? I was on pause there, but let me show you something. Let's go on to the next account here while I'm sitting here on pause. You didn't miss anything. So that's premium. Let's go take a quick look, and this is just kind of in my list here. Let's take a look at the new hybrid feed. And let me pull it up here, and then I'll share it with you. The 10 pip hybrid feed. We'll talk about this. Ah, cool. Check this out. So started this at the beginning of the week, and I'll talk briefly about what this is, but this is a beta test feed that I'm sharing with the group. If you're in the group, fxwithterry.com, I gave you the broker and the account number and the password, the investor password, so you can see this. So it has pulled out, it has extracted, and this is an actual simulated trading account. This isn't signal prices. This is what I would bid with a $10,000 account, okay, in given market conditions and what's going on. So it's made $25.82, and this is a slow and steady, profitable, non-going into 20 currency pairs, not non-going into 20 pairs or 20 trades per pair. Not that it can't and won't do that, but the likelihood is it's reduced by 90%. Okay. Although you saw the 19 trades we took on USD JPY, which again, this is algorithmic trading, right? You're going to get some volume once in a while. You see, they all profited, right? I shouldn't say they all profited. We had a total net profit. I'll just be more specific on my words. So right now, the hybrid feed is trading, and in matter of fact, I need to do something. Let's just pause for a second, because I just realized, and I didn't notice that Euro Chief trade closed out. So I'm going to pause. I'm going to talk you guys through real quick, because I need to do an update so we're doing the right thing here. So let's see. I just need to find the account on my end. It is this one, I believe. Oh, you know what? I'm looking at the wrong. I've got so many servers. Stand by. It's important that I do this and now kind of explain, and you guys have been following along will know. So yeah, we're on pause here. It's probably going to take me another 60 seconds or so to click a real quick update here. So what I'm doing is we've been trading what's called Group 3. And I'll see if I can show you that. Okay, we're set. Just wanted to fix that. So I'll come back here and essentially share with you what I was doing. So let's go here. So this is the hybrid feed, and what I just did is I told you, I don't want to get all complicated and go over this again, but I put all of the currency pairs into 6 different groups where we don't have a currency pair cross, meaning we're not trading 2 different pairs that have USD in them. We're not trading 2 different pairs at the same time that have EUR in them, euro. So we're skipping that. And then I also said we're only taking the 20th trade on USD JPY and GBP JPY as far as what the algorithm would say. So that really protects us from those 2 high volatility pairs. And you'll see some data at the end here. I'm not saying there aren't other pairs that can go volatility or volatile. Like we had USD CHF go pretty crazy few weeks ago, and it's just kind of hard to predict that kind of stuff. So we'll manage it when that happens in the future. But for the ones that we know have enough volatility that could move hard against us, 20, 30 trades, I'm kind of holding those back. So what happens is the AI grabbed a trade at the beginning of the week, which was this Euro CHF, which was Sunday night, and it held it until today, which is Tuesday morning, right? So 2 days, day and a half. And in that Euro Chief group, there was NZD, USD, and a couple other pairs. Those pairs didn't fire off. We had a really slow market anyway, so I didn't expect much. So what happens is, so now that all of the trades are closed and there's nothing open in the hybrid feed here, that means the AI is looking for the very next trade that comes in, other than GBP JPY or USD JPY, unless they're on the 20th trade in a highly volatile sequence. But they're not, because I can see the back end data. The next trade that comes in, whatever currency pair that is, it's going to take it. But then the AI is going to look at the 6 groups, and it's going to go, okay, that currency pair is from group 2, let's say, All right, now I'm only trading group 2 to fruition. So as much volatility and movement as we have in that group, just like this. We traded group 3 for, day and a half, 2 days. Now we're looking for the next group. So might happen while we're on the call. We'll see here. But I want you to start understanding something, and I'm just gonna start shoving this down people's throats. It's time to slow down. It's time to potentially increase your bid a little bit because of the extra amount of security. Again, I'm a degenerate gambler. You bid what you want. But it's time to potentially increase your bid and slow down all of this volatility. Like when volatility comes into the market like it did last week, and it's going to, I want to be able to, I have the ability to, and I've programmed into it, just control that better. It's gonna feel like it's slowing down. Like for example, in the new premium signals programming that I put in place this morning after that USD JPY closed, I'm just slowing it down. And I'll tell you how I am. And if you're drug addicted to the dopamine hit by a bunch of volatility and volume of trades, then I'll tell you where to go to get all that, and you can blow your accounts all you want. But I'm really, really trying to force stability, and I'm trying to force stability on you and just slow the whole thing down. All right, let's go back to the accounts. Pause Screen, Account, Switch. Let me see what I'm looking at next. I think we're going to jump up to the gold. And I'm going to probably just say we're not going to touch on that. There was some U.S. news this morning that really pushed gold around. I took a sell limit that didn't fire off, and I just got out of it because I was like, you know what? The pricing just didn't quite hit it. So there's really when I say gold, it's our high profit auto trader. There's really nothing going on in that right now. Mostly because I seen all the crazy news coming out this morning, and gold spiked up and it spiked way down, and it didn't spike up enough to grab what I was considering, or what the AI considered a sell limit. So we're really not even going to look at that. The one profitable trade feed that had the USD JPY trade that we already looked at, so that closed out in profit. So that also means, let's go ahead and look. It's probably not going to be too pretty, but my $3,000 to $100,000 account challenge. I really haven't looked at this, but I don't believe there's anything going on with it. So hold on, let's take a look. If I can find it here. Yeah, so let's take a look at this. So a lot of changes going on here. I was overbidding. I forced a bunch of losses, and you can see I, as a dumbass, have not changed my bid yet. So I probably need to do that. So what I'm going to do is, when we get off the call here, I'm going to go over to my copier. And again, this is like a test sample challenge account. I'm going to go over to my copier and say, okay, only trade AUD USD right now. And once I'm out of that, I'm going to bring my bid back and do some manipulations to that feed. I just have not done that yet. And in terms of closing, it closed one AUD USD overnight, $16 in profit. But again, I'm still way overbidding on this account. In fact, really overbidding on the account based off of the fact that it's only $1,800 right now. But again, just proof of concept, show you that, this is a small account taking my auto feed trades, bidding an outrageous amount for the volume that could happen. Basically showing you how to manage, and also maybe what not to do. Okay, so moving forward, I'm going to be a little more conservative on my bid and what pairs I'm trading. And you'll see we'll go from an $1,800 account back to a $3,000 account. We'll grow from there. So pause. And again, a lot of the reason we're not seeing a lot of trades that I'm showing is because we were in that USD JPY, and I just put kind of all of the focus on that and all these different accounts, and said, you know what, let's get out of this thing instead of, adding insult to injury of adding a bunch of trades onto an account that probably can't handle more trades. So that also means that the really large high profit account that I have has not taken, you know what? That's not true. That's not true. This might be impressive. Let's take a look at this, because I have a very large account that I believe was in the USD JPY. Yeah, this might be pretty impressive, or it blew out, one or the other. Let's take a look. Give me a second here. I'll share it with you. Yeah, it took a serious hit. Let me take a look at this real quick here. USD JPY. I'm going to have to do some analysis on that. I think I just forced myself to get out. I'm not showing you this yet. I'm still up 65,000 for the week. But I took a $40,000 loss. I would have been up, 105,000, but I took a $40,000 loss just to get out of that USD JPY. And again, I should have known better. What's interesting is I said on the USD JPY, I had my system saying, well, take the fifth trade and beyond if USD JPY goes deep. Absolutely dumbly, ignorantly forgetting that last year it went 35 trades deep in August. So instead of 5, someone asked me the other day, well, why are you upping it to 15? Well, I finally this morning upped it to 20. I'm like, you know what? I don't want to dick with this stuff. When it gets that volatile, I just don't. I want to be able to see it going on in the auto feed, but I don't want to accept those trades into my account until they've gone 20. And what's interesting is maybe it's only gone 18 and I see it turning back around. I can go in and say, hey guys, enter a trade here. I can send the trade out. It'll be like really highly profitable. All right, let me look. I think there's one more account, and then I'll share this with you. Yeah, one more account. So this is a small 1K account taking the auto trades. Let me pull it up. It is right here. Very stable. I think I just avoided over trading and over bidding on this. You can see it's in a GBP USD trade right now. This thing's up 27, almost 28% for the month. So if we look at history closed, I was in that USD JPY trade, but you'll notice I didn't take all 19. I didn't jump into it until later. So I have that ability, and you pretty much have that ability. I'll start giving you guys heads up on stuff like that if you want to jump into a trade a little bit later. So this ended up, I got out at USD JPY based off of the auto take profit. I didn't force this closed at $15.36. I mean, it's a small account, right? If you look for the week, it's up $141.23. And if you look for the month, it's up $279. That's 28% on a $1,000 account. That's pretty damn good. And I am not overbidding, and I am not over trading in terms of currency pairs. I'm not. And right now it's in a GBP USD. In terms of how many trades I'm taking into this account right now, I mean, it's constantly changing because I have control over my copier, right? And so do you if you're using the auto trader. But I believe what I said is only give me one pair right now at a time. Like, I just wanted to kind of see what the market was doing. I will probably increase this, but I'm at minimum bid on that account. So that's pretty much it in terms of the accounts. Again, it was extremely slow, and we wanted to get out of that USD JPY. We did. So speaking of that, let's go do something. Let's, account-wise, let me pause one more time. We're going to go back to the free signals. And actually, you know what I'm going to do in terms of just monitoring while we're sitting here talking? I'm going to put the 10 pip hybrid up here in case we come back to this. No trades right now. The AI is looking for the next trade, and then it's going to focus on that group, one of 6 groups that has non-currency pair crosses in there. So what I'm going to do now is take you over to the browser. So stand by. Got to click a few buttons here. Let's see. Where do I want to take you? Give me a second. Let's take a look at this. Let's look at my prediction prowess. And if you think that I changed shit on you, go back and look at my screenshots. I can pull up some of my screenshots. In fact, let me look at something here and see if my screenshots, I'm not sharing anything yet. So give me a second. I bet some of my screenshots. Wait, we'll go back in the group and look. Okay, browser and then this button. So stand by. Here we are. So this was my, after we were in the trade already, prediction over here. When I drew this box here, which is called again, I'm a hack, I don't know what I'm talking about, but this is basically imbalance. The price moved away from it and never returned to this where I drew this box out. Okay. And in fact, I'll extend these out in a second here. And then the price was right here, and I drew an arrow. I said, here's where I believe it's going to at least go. Okay. Got to fill that imbalance. A lot of times it will come up to that and bounce off of it or push through. I didn't say any amount of time because that's the thing we don't know. Look what it played out. If this is a 15-minute chart, it played out the rest of that day and then half of today to get there. So look what happened. I'm going to actually draw a line here. What I need is a horizontal line. I'm going to put it right in the middle of this imbalance. Okay. So that's where I was like, and our take profit was pretty much, that's where the AI will put the take profit because it's like, okay, you're coming back. And look what it did. That price, it fluctuated, took some people out of the market, moved back up, took some people out of the market potentially, and then it went right, it literally went right to halfway, real close, probably, with it pushed just barely above that imbalance area. And then it just wicked down to take some more people out because everybody knows the movement here. Okay. It's going to go up from down here. When? We don't know. And if you're someone who's trailing your stop, or you're someone who's setting a stop loss, you were taken out here, or you were taken out here. And then look at this news this morning. Wicked way the hell up here. Took our take profit. And now it's consolidating. So they were literally waiting. If you look over here, they were waiting. They pushed it down when the news launched last week. And now they pushed it back up when the negative news launched. So negative news is not necessarily a push down. Right? It's just a push. And it's like they use that as an excuse. So all of the banks and the hedge funds, they're out of drawdown now, and they're probably in profit, and now the price is just going to go sideways. And now we're going to see movement in the rest of the market because, like I said, I believe they blew their entire nut moving this. That's just kind of what it felt like, right? Thursday, Friday, and then it's like, wow, nothing else is going on. And then Sunday night, nothing. And then Monday, nothing. I don't know if I heard, but maybe a few tiny little trades go off yesterday. So anyway, my prediction turned out, but this is not an entry prediction. This is an exit prediction. I think that's the better way to do it. Like, what's the feel? People kept asking me, where do you think it's going? Where do you think it's going? I drew my picture and I said, here's my idea. We had a box of support down here, and we had this imbalance candle where the price, probably needed to return. It's all a guess, but it turned out pretty good. So again, I only analyze these charts after I'm in a trade to kind of go, all right, well, can we handle this? Can we stay in this? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to the group and I'm going to talk about an update. So let's pull this up here. And let me do a quick manipulation because I don't like it when the bot does this. Oh, well, I did the wrong one. But nonetheless, I did an update this morning where I was talking about this section here, system-wide update. So I want to highlight this and talk about this. And this will lead into a few things. It will lead into two other things. So I said last week taught us what we don't want. And the market's been teaching me for years what I don't want. But, I'm a little hard-headed and I haven't necessarily listened to it because what I've done with my automated feed is I'm the puppeteer in the background. And when I see these things happen and they're just kind of happening and I'm dealing with them, but I started to realize this caught a lot of people off guard. They didn't expect the level of volatility that we got with USD/JPY. So I did. It's common. Went 25 trades. We've seen it go 35. I'm like, okay, I need to have an overall protection just for myself, but also to help everyone else stay out of the market in those crazy times. So talk about some manipulations that I've done here and explain this. And I'm going to stop getting sucked into people coming into the group going, Terry, where's the trades? There's no trade right now. I'm like, God damn it. If you want trades coming out your ass, go sign up for the main auto trader feed and just blow up your accounts all you want. But what I need to do, and especially for myself, because I I do it in the background for myself, is I can see the overall data. I can see what the AI is doing. I can see what's coming pretty much. And like I could literally turn all my copy trading off, watch the data feed and go, oh, USD/JPY is 14 trades deep. Activate USD/JPY, get trade 15. We're in a really nice trade. We missed all the first 14 in the scale in sequence. So I have the ability to do that. You have the ability to do that if you have the auto trader, because guess what I'll do? And I've suggested I'll let you guys do this. I'll give you two copy trade what do I want to say? Ability to copy, two of the main feed. Set yourself up a 100K demo account. Accept all of the trades into that 100K demo account. And now you can see through walls. You'll be able to see exactly what is going on. And you can be out of the market on most of the currency pairs until you see one really getting volatile and jump into it later. Or discuss with me, hey Terry, I see XYZ is pretty volatile right now. When do you think a good time to jump into that is? I'm like, all right, I'll tell you what my thinking is. Here's what I'm doing, right? So you have that kind of that data and that ability to see through walls. So here's what I did with free signals. I said there's going to be a slight slowdown because what I'm doing is of the pairs that we're trading, I think, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 currency pairs right now in the free signals. They're the slower ones, right? They're pretty stable. I'm only going to take, right now it's going to seem slow, but you just got to deal with it. I'm only going to take trade number 2 in a sequence. So if AUD/CHF goes into a trade, goes to the take profit and closes, you won't see it. But if AUD/CHF goes into a trade, you won't see it. If it goes into trade number 2, it'll launch and it'll send you the signal. So what that means is if you look at what we were looking at before, some spam text I just got. If you can look at before that, like, I think it was Euro Chief that we were in Sunday night and finally closed today. If you had waited, because it went 2 trades, we held on to that first one and just went sideways for a day and a half. And then it went into a second one and we got a really nice profit. If you had avoided that, in that particular scenario, if you'd avoided that first one, you just would have avoided a day and a half worth of drawdown. And it would have been a nicely profitable trade because you didn't have to have the first one. Now, if that went 3, 4, 5, 6 trades deep, you at least didn't have to have the first one, which would have closed in a negative overall net profit. So it's just a tiny little manipulation. It's not magic, but it's a tiny little manipulation, and it's going to slow the signals down just a little bit. But you'll see me say this at other places. Technically, and it's up to you, it's up to your account, you could bid a little bit more because you automatically know that you're not in the first trade of any of these sequences. It may go so slow, I turn that off. It's not a big deal. But right now, that's what I want to do. I just kind of want to take a breather from everybody's, stressing the shit out of me, wondering, because they overbid and overtrade. I'm like, how about I just not stress myself the fuck out by slowing it down for you a little bit? and it'll still be massively profitable. And stick around, I'm going to show you something. So premium signals is the exact same thing. Obviously, we're trading a lot more currency pairs, and I forgot to say what I said here at the end. Free signals will not ever get a USD JPY or a GBP JPY trade. They just won't. So premium is going to slow down. Same thing. I'm only taking the second trade, but instead of taking one trade at a time or one pair at a time, like I said, from the free signals, I'm going to take 2 pairs at a time. So that will be manageable in terms of you taking these signals, and it will slow things down. And frankly, I was just kind of dumb, I think, to be sending out premium signals. And I had it at some point 10 or 11 pairs at a time. It certainly was overwhelming. So we're going to do the second trade in a sequence on premium, and we're going to do 2 pairs at a time. It'll be very manageable, and we are also going to avoid USD JPY and GBP JPY unless it gets to 20 in a sequence, and I'll be telling you that way beforehand. Because here's the deal. Let's say you increase your bid on premium signals because you're like, wow, it's slow, it's more methodical. I know I'm not going to get USD JPY, GBP JPY, runaway trades. So let's say you're bidding a lot more. Well, when this 20th trade comes in the sequence, because right now it's set to automatically happen, but I'll be announcing it and letting you know. When this 20th trade comes in the sequence, the lot size will be a lot higher than a base bid. So if you're bidding 10x, right, of 0.01 or $1, and this thing's already at $6, you're going to be 6 times that, right? Or 10 times that, 10 times $6. So, it could be highly profitable as long as your account can handle it. I'll be giving you a heads up. You'll know. You don't have to worry about that. Main auto trader feed, no change. We're trading 22 currency pairs. So if you're addicted to the dopamine and the volatility and the volume and you look at me as your drug dealer, the best way for me to give you the dopamine drug is for you to sign up for the main auto trader feed, turn that sucker on, blow those accounts out, my friends. Blow them out. It'll survive for a while, but I know it won't survive on your $112 account that you bid $42 a pip on, because I know you guys love it, right? Got a lot of addicted, Forex addicted, drug addict volume seekers in here, and that's the feed for you. So the manipulation of that is my one profitable trade feed. So it's similar to premium signals, but it's all automated. But it only trades 1 pair at a time. So premium's pulling 2 pairs at a time and showing you that signal. This trades automatically 1 pair at a time, and the rest is the same. It's only going to get a USD or a UJ or a GJ trade at the 20th in sequence. And of course, I'd let you know that that's going to happen. The hybrid feed, which we looked at, which I think I'm most excited about, and the reason I did this manipulation was because me trading, hedge funds and me helping other people trade their money, I wanted to have just a lot more. I wanted to sleep a little bit more at night, right? And not worry about these hugely volatile pairs and volatile scenarios. Not that they won't happen, but I'll guarantee you from the hybrid. I mean, if you're looking at the one profitable trade feed or the hybrid feed, which isn't available yet in terms of sending to you, but you can monitor it. I think it'll be available pretty soon, in a couple weeks. The stability here will be immense. It'll just be very stable, even more stable than everything that we're doing. Because not that the main auto feed is unstable, it's just aggressive, right? It's going to trade a lot. 22 currency pairs, man, you're going to get a lot. Now, the next one, high profit feed, nothing has changed there. Technically on the back end, I am kind of switching providers in terms of what provider and copy system I'm using, but that doesn't affect anything on your end at all. So I said here, when things slow down, as I'm suggesting above, you can risk more potentially. You guys are already over trading and overbidding, so I probably shouldn't even tell you that. I'm just making more problems for myself. But if you're a gambling hack like me, It is what it is. So I wanted to go over those updates. Now let's go look at something. And I hope what I'm going to show you impresses you. If it doesn't, you should not be in this group. You should not be trading my system. You probably shouldn't be trading. However, let me go here and let me find out where this is. I've got a site here I want to show you. Here it is. So this is earnforex.com, and they have a report analysis tool. So it's in the tools, and it's over here, report analysis tool. And the only way you can really do this is to pull your data out of an actual MT4 account as a, you look at the account history and you pull it out as a detailed statement.htm. That's what they give you as the file. .htm means it's going to show as a web page, right? But you can save that thing and then run it through their free analysis tool. And I just want to go over this real quick and show you how impressed I am. So this is 67 days worth of data, and I pulled this out, and this is my main general automated feed. Everything is generated from this feed, okay? There's going to be a lot of data to look at here, and if you want to, I believe I can print this out as a PDF if you want to go through it, but this is impressive. This is, again, all 22 currency pairs. It's my main automated feed, and it's bidding a 0.01 base lot size, okay? So you can see it all the different pairs. Like, for example, I'm going to jump around here, but gain and loss, okay? So what's interesting is in this particular case, just notice the gain in net profit is always larger than the gross loss. That means every one of these currency pair trades that I send wins. It's always gaining more than it is losing. And I hate to use the word loss, but these are more mathematics than anything. Like, for example, AUD/CAD over the last 67 days, bidding a 0.01 lot size, made $31.75 and had a loss of $10.24, right? So that's a net profit, right? Gross loss, net profit. So every pair, if I slowly scroll down here, you'll see was a winner. Always going to be this. It just gives you a general sense of what's going on. Let's go down here and look at some other data that I thought was interesting. Positions that were open. Let's see, position properties. Interesting, short position properties and long position. So we got 462 short positions. And if you look at long positions, 471 long positions. So it's almost like 50-50 short and long, right? So win-loss series, I think what I'm looking for here, and I know I'm running through this a lot. I sat here and stared at it for hours. But, you can look at absolute drawdown, which this USD Chief had a minus 77.78 compared to everything else. That's when that USD Chief in the last 67 days just went south on us. Profit indexes is pretty interesting. What it'll make you want to do is look at AUD/CHF and go look at the profit factor on that, because profit factor is how many dollars you get for how many dollars you lost. Okay. So the profit factor is 8.71 on AUD/CHF. So you're like, man, I want to trade that. But also you'll notice that other numbers that AUD/CHF is low volatility and it goes forever, right? So you'd be stuck in that trade for a while. I'm trying to get down to an area here that I was looking at. Another one that people are all worried about, their commissions and swaps. Literally irrelevant in terms of looking at that kind of stuff. So the R multiple, I guess I probably don't have the time to sit here and stare at it, but if you want this report, let me know. It's interesting to see. And I believe, I can't necessarily promise, I know they have the option at the top to generate this into a PDF, but I want to make sure that that actually works. So if you want that, let me know. I'll post it in the group if it's going to be something that I can give you. I think really what I was looking at here, so that's index drawdown. Kind of interesting, I think, the drawdown on all these different pairs, relative drawdown, really pretty stable. CAD JPY was higher than most, just over the last 67 days. USD Chief was the highest, but we had, USD news and Swiss franc, it just went against us. And that's something, like when that happened, there's almost like it's a low volatility pair. There's almost no reason other than maybe avoiding some news events. But you'll notice today, had we avoided the news event today, we wouldn't have taken profit on what we took profit on. So you just don't know how it's going to affect. You don't know how it's going to affect the system. Let me make sure that nobody is... Let me look at the comments here. Mark says, question. The parameters that you set for GBP, JPY, and USUJ in the new hybrid feed apply to the main 10 pip. I'm trying to think what you mean here. The main 10 pip auto feed is full auto. There is no manipulation in there. You're getting everything. So I think you're probably asking that, Mark, because you're like, hey, wait, I'm using that and I'm doing my own manipulation. Yeah, I'm not going to manipulate the main feed at all. It is what it is. It will give you everything. If you want everything, you can have everything. So I think that's probably what you're asking. No, I have not done any manipulations, and I will not do any manipulations on the 10 pip auto feed. It's all of the other ones that I think, are the best way to go. Back to this data here. I wish I could pull out the thing that I really wanted to show you guys, but I'd have to sit here in silence for a couple minutes and stare at it. But let me see if I can find it here, and then we'll end there. So average consecutive wins, profit. So you'll notice the net profit is always, in every pair we trade, the net profit is always more than any loss. And here's what you have to understand. We trade these currency pairs in baskets. So if it goes into a trade and goes into profit, that's one pair, no basket. But if it goes into a basket of 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 or 20, our our profit is always more than our loss. Always. So what I'm saying is, this system, if you look at this data, there is not one negative profit over here next to the currency pair. Not one. We do not lose. We do not lose. The algorithm does not lose. I get the fact that you can overbid and overtrade. I get it. I get the fact that you can turn, overtrading, you can turn 20 currency pairs on a $100 account. I get that you can do that. But if you're not that insane of a gambler, you got to understand that we always win. And if you understand that, you can bid and trade accordingly. If we look at, long positions, let's look here. Short position properties. I think it's position properties. Yeah. So the profit, let me take a look at these numbers here. Risk to reward ratio. Largest profit. That's probably not the best data to stare at and make the comparison of. Probably it's just this. It's just positions. Okay. You can see that AUD CAD in the last 67 days was in 27 positions, as an example. AUD JPY was in 46 positions. And if you look at, the win is always more than the loss. Every one of these, every currency pair win is always more than the loss, because we're not actually taking a loss. We're actually taking a more profitable position and closing out a less profitable position. If we make $100 on the profit and a minus $20 on the negative side, we're $80 up. And it's always that. Like, we have zero negative on any of these currency pairs. So There is not a system out there that I've seen that can trade this well. There's just not. There is just not. You're going to see currency pairs that have on the front end, you're going to see that other systems have negative amounts. We're doing an 80% of the trades we go into are more profitable than the rest. 70%, 80, 78, so 90, 81, 84, 76, 68, 68 profitable to 31% negative. That's incredible. 83, 88, 80, 84, 71, 80. So round numbers, this entire system, look at this. 80% of the trades are profitable. And you also have to remember, these are basket of trades. So it's like 80% profitable on, if you traded one currency pair, 80% would be more profitable than the 20% that were not. That's incredible. People don't understand that. Like, the data doesn't lie. This is straight from my system. I can't manipulate this. I don't think I can manipulate it. No, it's an HTML report. I guess maybe if I really wanted to spend the time, I could manipulate the hell out of it. But these are the actual trades, right? These are the actual trades. It's the most impressive thing I've ever seen. And I continue to trade some other systems that I probably would just never show, because one of them that I had was doing really well, just blew out. I shouldn't say blew it out, just lost me about $3,000. Not this system, not what we use, but another that looked really good, and I traded it for a while on about a $4,500 account. I just lost $3,000 on it. But you got to get out there. You got to test. You got to take the chance. And of course, all of my other trades are making heck of a lot more than that $300 loss that I took. But I did it just to see. And here we are. Still nothing beats this particular system. I think that's what I wanted to tell you this morning. I just talked for 57 minutes, so I hope you find that valuable. Oh, the last update is this. Let's come back here, and I'll tell you what the last update is. Let me pull this up. So still no trades coming. It's like all that news moved this morning. I think maybe we'll start getting some movement later or tomorrow, but like just literally nothing. Not one trade has went off, which usually does while we're in the live here. So here is the next iteration of the FX with Terry video, because this video does explain 99% of what's going on. What I'm going to do, and I know I've needed to do it, and people continue to ask me, is I need to make a dedicated video for everything we have, a dedicated video for the free signals. So it explains what's going on, which I basically went over in this. I'm going to make dedicated videos for everything we are doing, and they might even be considered sales videos. But they're not salesy, because I think the best way to sell something and best way to get somebody to understand what they're buying, probably a better way to put it, is to show them, tell them, right? Tell them that this is what it is. This is what you're getting. So I'm going to be working on that this week, and it's going to take some time, because I really need to, I don't want to have to re-record it every time something changes. I'm going to go, here is the concept behind this feed, behind free signals and how to bid. That won't be in the same video. To be like, this is why you're here. This is what I can do for you. This is what you should do next. And then there will be, I've got some information in the group already, text-based information on how you should bid. But people are like, well, Terry, like, I'll give you an example. Here's the confusion. I see you posting outrageous results on the high profit feed, the gold, the US 30, the NAS. I want that, because I want to get rich overnight. I'm like, there's the problem. I get that it appeals to people and the numbers are big, but you probably don't have a big enough account to be trading that. And everybody is like prop firm. You're probably crazy to be trading a prop firm, especially in evaluation. Number one thing you're up against, how many other people are using my exact same trade on the exact same prop firm they're going to shut you down. You're going to pass your evaluation. They're going to take a look at you and they're going to go, you're doing the same trades as 7 other people. Because you don't know. You don't know. I don't know what people are using. I don't know what people are using my feed on and what prop account. I just think it's not a great way to go. You have to do so many manipulations to get the trade to seem unique from other people. It's possible, but unlikely. Mark says, gotcha. Wanted to make sure I know how I want to. I know, Mark. I wouldn't do that. I know you're taking the main 10 pip automation feed. However you want to manipulate it, I'm not making any changes. So if you want to jump into those other feeds, and I'm pretty sure you have access, then you can get kind of like the manipulation already in place. Lisa says, hi Terry, can you show an account with the high profit auto trader feed? I can, but what do you mean show an account? Like I basically didn't look at it this morning because there weren't any trades because of the crazy news, but we look at it every day. So maybe if you can be more specific, what do you just want to see what those trades look like? Let me see if I can pull something up on my end, maybe from last week or something. So stand by. Let's see. It would be this account. I can pull up some history data. Like here, I'll share this. So, kind of give you an example. So these are some trades from last week. I took some sell limit trades today, which I didn't end up launching. But yeah, it's. I'll show you. Basically, if we come back here, let's look at. Let me see if I can grab 3. So here's a sequence of 3 gold trades. Okay. And this is the auto feed, so you can bid what you want, right? If you have a big enough account, you could bid a lot more. And I do on my particular accounts. But this came out, we had a $17 profit, $2 profit, and a $5 profit. The next sequence, there's another sequence that launched off. I did this trade, just a real quick profit. And although it's 32 cents here, I think I made $300 in another account because I was bidding obviously a lot more. So I send that out in the auto trader and you bid what you want on your end based off of your account. Here's another sequence here, 3 sell trades. And the first one took profit. The next 2 backed out at break even because the price just didn't get there. Didn't get to our take profit 2 and take profit 3. Same thing happened with the next one. Sequence of 3, took profit on the first and then basically 0, break even on the next 2 because the price backed out. And then if you look at, I did a real quick NAS 100 trade. NAS 100 trade. That was really nice. Bidding $1. Look how much that thing made, $476. US 30 trade. Oh yeah, so here's a sequence of 3 US 30. That was really nice. Took take profit 1, 2, and 3. And then obviously today's sell limit that I got out of because I was like, it might launch off, but I don't like the volatility, so we got out. Lisa says past month. Yeah, so past month, all of the trades together, all of the different pairs, taking a minimum bid of $1 spread out over 3 trades, has done $12,236, and that's not a whole month. This has only been running so long. Let me scroll back. Started this on the 12th. Those were test trades, I believe. 2/12. Yeah, started on the 12th. So today has been a month. February 12th, March 12th. Yeah. So today has been a month. So how big of an account would I believe you would have needed to take all of these? Because this is my automated account that's sending it out, and one came in yesterday and said they had a $10,000 account. They turned on NAS 100 at, I believe, either a 0.15 lot size on NAS in a $10,000 account, and they were like, yeah, I took a hit on that. I'm like, well, why jump in? Why do this auto trader? I mean, I get you to trust my trading, but don't take my auto trader and put it on an account that you don't know how to bid on, that you don't know if it's working yet. I mean, practice on a demo for a couple days, guys, because you're going to see that if you're taking NAS at a 15x multiplier, it's over for you. It's over for you, right? So you kind of got to get a feel, because this is high profit, high risk. Simple as that. So hopefully that's what you were looking for, Lisa. But again, you know, literally today we've had this going a month, and it's done 12,236 with a base bid of $1, 0.10 lot size spread over 3 trades on each pair. And I think we've taken one overall loss in terms of on a day it hit the stop loss. But, you know, this is highly volatile pairs. And yes, we do set a stop and a take profit, 3 take profits, a stop loss, so on and so forth. But this is probably one of the best. This is, other than my main 10 pip automation, this is the best I've ever seen. I didn't put this out without, you know, testing it extensively. I even put it out as beta at first, signals. So, okay, so thanks, Lisa. You got what you're looking for there. More than worth, like, what I'm charging for this. I'm charging like a monthly or a lifetime license. This is if I saw this, I couldn't get my wallet out fast enough to jump into this. This is that good, and it will only get better. I wouldn't have put it out if it wasn't extremely good. And I'm glad I got out of the market today. This sell limit did end up launching, and it did pretty good, but I was like, you know what? I'm not going to send this out to everybody, because I just didn't. I mean, it was spiking up and spiking down, and I'm like, who knows what's going to go on. So yeah, all right, that's it for the day. Appreciate you joining me. If you're catching this on YouTube and you're not in the group taking at least the free trades, come over and prove it to yourself. fxwithterry.com. Get into the group. I'm 100% engaged in the open chat area, and again, constantly evolving, constantly growing, updates that I showed you today, and videos coming in the next 5-6 days. I'm going to try to do 1 or 2 a day that explains in depth what it is I'm offering and what you get. Whether you take me up on it or not, I don't know. That's it. Appreciate you joining me, and I will catch you tomorrow with hopefully some more movement and volatility, which will be Wednesday, March 13th in the AM time. I'll see you guys then.